Film Size Crew review. Creed 2. Hey team, Angus Strachan here, and welcome to the Film Slice podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-hosts, Kane Diggly, Kane Dogs, and Bro Diddly Doo, Broadman Richards.
That's me. We're doing pretty good. This is at the point where I'll usually reintroduce you, but as you pointed out last week to me behind the scenes,
I do in fact introduce myself.
You introduce yourself every week, and I've just been doing it a second time. So, also starring Brody, Richardus.
Very good. This week we are reviewing Creed 2.
The second one.
The second one. That's the full title? Creed 2, the second one?
It is the 7th in a line of films.
Yes.
And second in its own series.
So do you call this a Rocky verse?
Yes, the Rocky Cinematic Universe. The RCU.
RCU, yes.
Yeah. The remote control.
Remote control universe. Kane Dogs, hit us up with that IMDb summary.
Under the tutelage of Rocky Balboa, heavyweight contender Adonis Creed faces off against Victor Drago.
Wait, did you just say tutelage?
Tutelage. Yeah, tutelage.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, keep going, mate.
Son of Ivan Drago. That's all.
Very good. Nice and confident. Love it. All right. When did you see the movie and what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
Broadman, when did you see the movie? What did you think?
I saw this one on Friday night at bloody Wool World. It's back, boys!
Hey!
It's back.
They're actually screening it this time.
Yep, screening this one.
Super. What do you think?
They're back in the game, shearing once again. Yeah, I thought it was actually pretty good. I think it was a bit of a fun romp, as I like to say, and that it is a bit of a high on a bit of a higher level than a lot of other action films. And I felt like I didn't need to see the first one, which I did not.
Yeah.
To get this one, I also have to say I did not watch Rocky 2. Rocky 3, Rocky 5, or Rocky 4. I saw Rocky 1 probably about 10 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah, right.
And I can't really remember it. I think he ran up some stairs.
That's Rocky 2. Sorry, go on.
Oh. But I really cannot remember the first one then. He ate some eggs. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that checks out. He ate some eggs. He did eat some eggs. That checks out.
So I thought they did a good job on that.
Agreed. Kane Dogs, when you see the movie, what do you think?
Yeah, I saw it also at Wool World this time.
Really?
With,
Really?
Really? With
Really?
really, Angus.
Really. Excellent.
Really?
With a close friend and colleague from work.
Oh, really?
First outing, not rock climbing. First date we've had seeing a movie together.
Really?
So it's getting serious, boys.
Yeah, it is
really?
getting serious. That's interesting. Tell me more about this after the podcast, or now, if you want to.
No time.
Okay. And I
What do
thought
you
it was great. I've got his opinions written down as well that I'll get to later, but I thought it was, as Brody said, a bit of a fun romp. I think they did a really good job balancing sort of the action and the emotional content that sort of grounds it in relatable characters. I think they did a great job.
The pacing was decent.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have seen all of the Rockies and the first Creed movie, but I don't remember much
Any
of
of
the first 5 Rockies really blur together.
Pretty sure that they do some boxing or something.
There's something. One of them wears a glove.
Yeah, just one. Just a single
Just a
glove.
singular.
Boxing was different back in the day.
I know that there's 2 shirtless men, very sweaty, and it involves a glove and some heavy physical contact.
Wait, are we
in
talking
front of a
about the
crowd.
Rocky films, or are we talking about your date on Friday night?
Hey-o!
My date on Friday night.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, I saw the movie this morning.
Ooh,
I
cheeky morning flick.
haven't seen any of the Rocky films. This is the first Rocky film I've watched. And I have to say I was presently surprised.
Presently, you're currently surprised?
Currently, I'm surprised.
Still, after seeing it this morning.
My
about the
eyebrows
film?
really hurt.
It involved
I'm
a
not gonna
glove?
say that. It involved a glove. No, yeah, I was really surprised about how much I loved the film. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It pulled me in.
It was decent.
And yeah, took me on a roller coaster of emotions and but he spat me out the air and feeling like a better man.
Yeah, pretty decent.
So you leave this film really wanting to box.
Yeah.
Like a good...
Yeah, on my way out, I clipped that young guy that
The
was
young
packing
usher
up
that was
bin.
cleaning up the...
That little bin boy.
It's absolutely
Yeah.
dropped
Clipped
him.
Yep, right hook.
Les, you know how every week I put up on Instagram what movie we're reviewing
And Twitter.
and Twitter
And Twitter, most of the time.
Yeah, sometimes I forget Twitter.
That's true.
This time I've got Twitter and Instagram.
We're
I
also,
haven't done the drawing yet.
really vigorously checking those SoundCloud comments.
Yes. I have nothing from the Slicey Slices
Oh, you're
because
very
I
lucky.
didn't ask.
Brody,
Cane dogs.
how many do you think
2?
we got? Yep, we got 2.
Yeah, baby!
on Facebook we got 2. So
Yeah, babe.
Kirby said, long time listener Kirby said,
Cuz.
thought I would get in before you. This is before I put up the trailer.
So you didn't actually ask.
Thought I'd get in before you. Creed 2, oh my god, so good. Bloody love it. Now I feel like becoming a
love.
boxer.
Box.
Good
I do
on,
like-
yeah, so
yeah,
she
I
thought it
love
was,
boxers.
She thought it was great.
They're comfy.
Especially...
I don't know what it means that
Silkies.
Kirby wants to be a pair of boxers. Does
Yeah.
she want to be...
You can be anything you want if you put your mind to it.
Hey, this just in. Kirby wants to be a pair of boxers. All right.
I just tried being a cupcake.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. You look
As it
You look
delicious.
delicious. I would take a nice juicy bite, except I've got some nice gingerbread cake, and I'm currently full.
Fair enough.
Otherwise-
More for me then. Oh, I've just eaten my hand.
Oh, he's eating his hand. He's eating his own hand. Oh, there goes his face. I didn't even know how you ate your own face.
Very worried about this.
Oh, sorry. I've just put my mind to it and I've turned back into a
It's
person.
gone on a fucking
This is
weird
amazing.
tangent. All right. Also, Jaden wrote in.
J-Dogs.
J-Dog.
Jade Dizzle!
So I saw the movie with him, and he wrote, I was riveted to my seat with actual rivets. Jordan brought a rivet gun and made me watch the whole thing. He even sticky taped my eyes open.
Is
But
that-
really, movie was good. Could be in the top 3 Rockies.
I think out of being forced to watch a movie by being riveted to a seat, complaining about a bit of sticky tape on your eyes isn't a big deal.
Yeah,
The other thing is, out of all movies to be riveted to made watch, this isn't a bad one.
that's what our Slicey Slices thought of that week.
Take it away to
Awesome.
the next segment, Angus.
All right, let's move on.
Is that because,
to...
wait, can Brody remember the next segment? Angus, if you don't talk, Brody, what are we doing next?
Would you recommend it and who would you recommend it to?
Correct! Well done! That's what we're doing next, right? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Brody, would you?
I would recommend this one. I think it is a pretty decent actually.
Desashi.
I'm just abbreviating my words because I'm trying to reach a younger audience.
Or
So I thought this
I
was...
just breathe my were.
Yep. Yeah, so all of my work are being abrivs. So we can reach a young... Or
I can't wait that in the I can't wait in this audio-based podcast for you to cut out the words.
So what you feet or
Someone's just gonna think
Pre-
their iPad is broken or some shit.
I
you tried cutting I in half.
and so
I'm watching you articulate it with gesticulation, and I don't know what you're saying. So let me just say the full word.
It's,
Right?
It real ha.
it real hard.
It real ha.
It real hard to abbreviate what
But
we do it. So yeah, I thought I would recommend
cut
this one.
all of that
I would
out.
recommend this one.
Brody, if you want to start again, so we can cut all of that out.
No, it's staying in. I would recommend this one because I think, yeah, it's a bit of a higher tier, a bit of a higher echelon. I don't know if that's the right word to use. I'm going to
echelon.
use it anyway.
Echelon member movie.
Yeah,
Got an
fucking
extra short?
Tasty. I really liked this film.
All right, Cane Dogs. Would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to?
Could I reckon it to?
Who'd you reckon it to?
I would reckon.
I'm also breathes my words.
Please don't. I barely understand what it is through that beard.
He bear arts that you.
You're so muffled.
Exact.
Exact to the pizzo.
I don't like that I'm not understanding this because I feel like it's very easy to get. My brain just isn't.
Ah, sure you can't.
You're allowed to say that. But technically you didn't. So we're leaving it in. I thought the movie was great. I'd recommend it to anyone who enjoys a good boxing romp, anyone who enjoyed any of the Rocky films. anyone who likes Michael B. Jordan.
Oh yeah, he's on point.
He's great.
His bod's on point.
Oh, as Brody
in this
said
film.
as Brody said in the Black Panther one, tasty piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still tasty.
Sticking by it.
Still tasty.
Still
yeah.
tasty.
Got a good use by on
Quite
that.
oiled up
Yeah,
in this
he's
movie,
medium
but-
rare.
Yeah, I would recommend it to anyone that likes boxing. Pretty much what you guys said already. Let's move on. Anything else before we head on into our spoiler segment?
This one does just hit on a bit of a higher tier of pacing and just general writing.
Yeah.
than a lot of the other action films that we've hit this year.
Definitely.
Yes.
You get. I think this film also gets you a bit more emotionally invested, which is
and
which
you,
is good.
and you get to understand most of the people's motivations.
Especially considering
Yeah.
it's one of two. Sorry, it's two of.
2 of 1.
It's the second film of its kind.
Not including the other 5.
Not including the other 5, but it does.
It's the first of a
It doesn't lean. It doesn't lean on the first movie.
No.
Like, I understood what happened in this movie.
I also think this is better. I also think
this.
this is better than the first movie.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Angus, what are we doing next?
All right, let's head on into spoilers.
Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we're in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film. You've been warned. Rest in peace. God save your soul and have mercy on the weak. Broadman, any cinema dicks?
Yeah, a bunch of people talking like wanks.
Ugh,
all
that.
throughout the film. On Friday night, I don't usually go see movies on a Friday night, and so I think that it had a bit of a fun, drunken crowd, if you know what I'm talking about.
A bit of a fun drunk.
By fun you mean not, and by drunk you mean drunk.
Angus,
Yes.
Cinematics.
Cinema dicks. I had one person next to me clap while the final fight was going on. So
Okay, getting a bit too into the tune for the.
in the final fight where like they're going kind of blow for blow, and then
God, it's a good fight as well.
Adonis like gets the upper hand in like
Yeah.
the at the end when that theme music came on, the guy next to me was like, oh yeah.
Jordan, tell us about your cinema experience.
So in this particular circumstance, me and Jaden were the cinema dicks. Towards the end of this film,
Disappointed.
there is the fight back and forth, and they keep going back to the corner. And whenever Creed goes back to the corner, Rocky's like,
Don't put baby in the corner.
God.
Yep.
Well, one day I'd like to finish a point.
But it won't be today.
You can speak, Jordan, then we would let you. One day I'd like to finish a point that
Anyway, Creed goes back to the corner and Rocky's like, you got a kid that's worth fighting for, and you got a wife who loves you, and I'm here for you, and like, your mother's behind you, and everyone loves you, and all you got to do is win this, and we understand why you're doing it. And then it cuts to Drago's corner, and Ivan Drago's just like, you're losing, punch harder. And then it goes back in, and then they go back to the corner and it's like, we all believe in you, we love you, Creed, you're the man. And then it comes back, he's like, you're losing, that is all about, punch harder. And then it's just that, and each time me and Jaden cracked up. It got funnier and more ridiculous each time it went back, because each time it was just him being like, you are losing. You need to not be losing. And then he'd send him back in. And it was the worst advice ever. We cracked up. And I'm sure it pissed a lot of people off.
Pissed me off.
Yep.
I wasn't even there. I'm raging.
Since then, we have literally spent the whole day doing that accent, telling each other to just do basic...
That accent, by the way, the
Is
wrong
very
accent.
racist.
Yeah.
It's very wrong.
I can't bother putting the
Sounds
whole...
more like Arnold Schwarzenegger than
Yeah.
Russian.
You're losing, come on, do better.
Broadman, most positives.
My most positive for this film has got to be the final fight.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the final
damn.
fight for this. I thought that they did a good job building up to it by having a fight earlier on in the film. This is actually where a lot of my kind of gratitude for decent writing is kind of build up and resolution and like payoff, which is a lot of problem in a lot of modern films where they just don't have the right kind of payoff, where they just have things happen and they look cool, so you're meant to feel some sort of gratification from
Yeah.
that. But it's like, no, they built up a fight, he lost the fight, and then they had a second fight, and it was a tough fight, and he won. And it's like, it's payoff, and it's good. And I feel like this entire film felt a bit more like an older style of film.
Definitely.
It actually follows the exact formula of the Rocky film where Apollo dies. because the film starts with Apollo fighting Ivan Drago. Ivan gets killed at the beginning of that film, and then Rocky trains to defeat Ivan.
Apollo gets killed.
Yeah.
Ivan doesn't. Ivan's in this one.
What did I say?
You said Ivan dies.
Oh, no. Apollo gets killed, and then Rocky overcomes to fight Ivan.
For sure. Cane Dogs, most positive.
Mine's similar to Brody's, but not the same. What I think this film did better than a lot of films I've seen that have similar story plots, which are films that are about boxing or UFC fighting or martial arts or any sort of thing like that, and there's a good guy and sort of a bad guy or a challenger, is that in a lot of those films, the fight feels really empty by the end of it. And the reason it usually feels empty is because the characters' ambitions and the characters' motives aren't fleshed out on both sides.
Yeah,
Quite often you've got your hero and his motives, and he wants to defeat someone who's bad for the sake of being bad. And even when the fight is really well choreographed, usually to have like a fulfilling end fight, it needs to go for 5+ minutes at least. And if you don't care about both people in that fight, you're just waiting for the hero to win. So I think the thing that this film did really well that a lot of films...
You kind of want the Russian guy to win.
Yeah. Each
like,
one of...
you see like the life he's living and like the relationship he has with his father, and you're like, I kind of want him to win.
Yeah, you kind of get the feeling that he's not actually evil for the sake of being evil. He just acts that way because he's told that he has to act tough. But you know that there's a fragility to him, especially during the fight as he starts losing, and everything that all that pressure is slowly being stripped away, and you see him sort of revert back to this childlike innocence that's just been abused growing up, more or less.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And as a result, this film, when you're watching it, you're not just waiting for the good guy to win, because part of you is rooting for the good guy to win and another part is kind of hoping he doesn't.
So my positives, I've got a few.
Okay. I mean, me and Brody only got to say one and then we moved on. But
yeah, but you guys
fine.
ramble on for ages. So
I'm okay with this, Angus. Go ahead.
Okay, so my first one is I really like that at the end, Daddy Drago throws in the towel.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan?
Yep.
What's his son name?
Carl? Is it Carl? Carl Drago?
Carl.
Carl.
Ivan and Carl.
Carl Drago.
Isn't it?
Carly Drago.
I thought it was.
Carl Drago.
Carl is the most Russian name I can think of, Angus.
Carl Drago.
Victor. Yeah, I was close.
Yeah,
Victor.
Carl.
Victor, not as Russian as Carl, but it's okay, I guess.
So I like it when...
Carl.
What was his name? Carl?
Yeah, I knew it was Russian, so I guess Carl.
I like.
What was it,
Angus,
Victor? Yeah, I was close.
Your brain just thought of a name. You know, like, what was his name? John?
yeah.
What was his name?
There's not a single letter.
Frederick.
Okay, but Carl Drago is... I think maybe from Harry Potter.
Carl Drago.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Carl Drago is Jason Momoa in...
Yeah,
yeah.
Carl
Carl Drago.
Carl Drago in Game of Thrones.
That'll make Game of Thrones... Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah.
Carl Drago.
It's
Carl.
Kahl.
Yeah.
So, right?
So I really like that Ivan throws in the towel at the end.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's good because, like, he's really been putting the pressure on his kid and...
He's like, at the end of the day, he loves his son.
Actually, he really does. So my second positive is I really liked how every hit had such an impact. So every time there was a punch,
it felt
there
meaty.
Like it felt.
They also
really
they also
solid.
didn't cut on every hit as well. They
they
let it go and they're like getting some hits in and dodging in some stuff.
Yeah,
and so it wasn't just like instantly cut on every hit.
And finally, my third point, I really liked Rocky Balboa as like the Mr. Miyagi type. Like the voice of reason and everything. I found his character really cool. Is he like that in like the first few movies?
So,
First Creed.
the best thing about the Rocky films, he's like that in the first Creed movie. The best thing about all the Rocky films, though, is Rocky Balboa has a proper emotional story arc.
Yeah.
Because it starts with him being... He's basically just a guy that enforces for the mob. Like, he's just a hired muscle.
Yeah.
And it sort of builds from there for him having no confidence and thinking he's a bum to sort of, like, you know, slowly working up the confidence and then becoming a boxer, but he doesn't win and then he thinks he's reached his peak. And it sort of, his emotional intelligence grows as well.
Yeah.
In the first one, he's quite angry and outbursty, and every time he has this.
Adrian.
No, but
Adrian.
in the first movie, most of the people he interacts with that try to help him, he reacts in the same way that Michael B. Jordan does in this movie, which is very angrily and very sort of offensive. And on the back foot. And then sort of a couple of films in where you see he's actually built up a lot of rapport and he's actually learnt a lot from his mistakes.
Yeah.
He's much wiser and much more aware, and every decision and fight he decides to make, he makes sure he has the right reasons and that it's worth it.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing. That's what makes the character so relatable.
Definitely.
Is he doesn't start off as just like the hero that always has the right answer. He starts off as quite a broken human.
Yeah.
And so by this film, he's gone through a lot. And if you watch all of the films, you actually see it happen. And it's,
Yeah,
I think
really
he
like
was
that.
great in this film.
I think I would
really
have
like
liked to have seen him hit the bag.
Or-
I would have liked to have seen him hit the bag.
Yeah,
in that scene where they're in a gym a couple of times. I would have liked to have seen him just hit a bag, just to show that he used to be a fighter, and I just wanted to just do it and just have kind of like a surprising level of like power. Or
the guy that I was hoping he'd hit is the guy that organized the match. That's just a total tool.
No, that guy.
He just really needed a whooping. And it would have been great if Rocky just whacked him once and he went down like a rock.
I really like that Rocky isn't like that aggressive. Like he would only ever kind of hit in the ring kind of thing, like that Miyagi type. Yeah, I really like that. Anyway,
fair enough.
Let's head on into our negatives. Worst thing about the film, Broadman.
Some of the standard forgettable dialogue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue in this film that is so forgettable, and there's just kind of throwaway lines, and a lot of that stuff was just like, it was kind of just a little bit let down in pretty much most of the other stuff in this film. I did quite enjoy, but some of the stuff that the characters say to one another is real throwaway, and there's a scene where Rocky's on the phone. His light out the front of his house is broken and it never gets resolved, but he's on the phone.
That's such an odd
to a company
specific thing though as well.
Is it to do with the movies, like the other movies?
Matt, I can't remember, but I know that the first movies have a lot of real time, like the character's relatable because he solves a lot of those problems. Like he solves a lot of the mundane problems, and you actually see him have to solve them in real time.
Right.
Like he's on the phone with them, and he says, like, how many people does it take you to screw a light bulb?
Yeah.
And I was just like, and he's like, no,
to screw a light bulb, you know.
He's like, no, I'm not joking. And it was just like, it was just a bunch of throwaway stuff like that.
Yeah.
And especially when it was the light bulb thing that never got resolved.
Yeah.
He never walked home, looked up, the light was on, and he was like, There was no scene like that. So there was like, just some of the dialogue is just like, yeah, you're doing good. I don't know what that voice is.
That was actually pretty good.
No, you're doing alright. Yeah.
He's like, you're doing good. Get in there or whatever. And it's like, oh, you're the best.
Use your heart.
You gotta use your heart.
Use your heart.
You gotta use your heart. So what you do is
apparently we're now at who's the other guy that talks?
Nice one, Jordan.
You know.
Yeah. So
Christopher Walken.
A bunch of throwaway lines of just like, like you're doing good, or
like when he's
I
telling him how to
believe in you.
propose, and he's like, instead of doing it with your brain, you do it with your heart. You know, you see it from the heart. I'm like, okay.
I actually really like that.
It's pretty.
I think
It was so
Rocky,
common though.
Yeah. But I think Rocky, like, he doesn't actually do a lot of talking, but what he says does have impact in a lot of the things. I agree with the
I also
light bulb,
like that he is coming across a bit of an old man.
Yeah,
like in the way that he tells the stories.
And he needs like his glasses and
stuff. It's like, how
and
did you propose to Adrian? And he was like, so we went to the zoo. And while we were at the zoo,
there was a tiger there.
There was a tiger there. It is like, no, I just want to know, what did you say? And he's like, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's such like an old man like telling a story thing.
It's well written.
Where it's just like slowly getting there.
One of the things I like about
that bit was good. There was some good bits of dialogue in this.
Yeah,
but there was also
well.
a lot of flip.
Definitely. Anyway, we're on negatives. Cane Dogs. Worst thing about the film.
Worst thing about the film. One of them I'm gonna say is maybe the first 20 minutes worth of interactions between Creed and his girlfriend or fiance, wife. Creed and his girlfriend. I just didn't buy the relationship.
I think that's to hook in the girlfriends that all of the boys are taking to the movies. They're like, oh yeah, there's a love story.
Well,
in it.
the thing is I thought
Yeah.
it got quite.
I can see that perspective, but then also there was her character.
It just wasn't very fleshed out.
Her character is weird because she's like a singer, right? And it's just like a weird.
She has a whole arc in the first movie where
I was gonna say,
she's
having not
she
seen the
wants to be
first
a
one.
singer, and he meets her, and he's like, "You're a fantastic singer," and she's like, "Yeah, I'm also going deaf."
But
and you
it's
shouldn't
it's
date
also
me."
weird.
And there's a bit of depth to her in that movie, but this movie not. Sorry,
Yeah, it
but
didn't really.
not until
No, it's fine. You interrupt me all the time.
not until Creed loses the first fight did I buy their relationship as like anything more than a weird fling. It just didn't seem very. It seemed very there for the sake of plot.
Well, she
Until he
also falls
lost.
into a lot of stereotypical like gender roles.
Yeah.
Which is why it was one of those weird things that just felt weird. They're like she's like, yeah, she's a singer, but even then her like biggest performance that I can remember is when she's singing as her boyfriend's being introduced in the final fight. Right? It's like she does have her
Yeah.
own song, but it's she's very much a supportive character. She is not
Yeah.
a main character in this film.
Which sucks because, like, as we said before, a lot of the other characters are very fleshed out.
Yeah.
So,
In terms of other negatives, not many.
it's a pretty decent film. I'm
enjoyed
struggling.
It's pretty
this film.
decent.
I'm struggling to.
I thought the marriage proposal was just very underwhelming.
It's
I
also-
couldn't
it's also
live without
weird.
you, and
It's also really weird because it's really not relatable because he's proposing to her in like the highest level of suite
Yeah.
in a casino in Las Vegas. So it's kind of like yeah, he's going through the whole thing of like should he get down on one knee or anything, but he's doing it in like the honeymoon suite.
Kind of brings me to my negative is that I didn't think, even though they were like, Creed has a lot on the line, it didn't really seem like it. Like, he's got the house, he's got the wife, he's got like the family and all that stuff. Like, I definitely probably would have preferred, now that I'm thinking about it, for Drago to actually win, because he is kind of like,
he had a lot more to lose.
He had a
than
lot
to
more
take
gain.
him down a peg.
yeah, exactly.
He's already the champion. He's like getting married.
He's got
he has a
everything,
kid.
yeah.
He has a really, really nice
Yeah,
house.
The only
it
good
is
thing-
kind of hard to like vouch for the guy that has everything, because you're like, well,
He's not really the underdog.
yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
this
exactly.
film.
Very-
the thing that
yeah,
the thing
not
that
at
is good though is that they've absolutely set this up for him to lose everything in the next film, because he has everything now. Means the next film there's a lot to lose for.
Hopefully something good like that happens.
Yeah.
One of my
Hopefully
other
we
negatives.
get another. I'd watch another.
I'd watch another.
I hope, I'm
I
not
would
sure if
too.
it's made
I would
enough
too.
money, but
One of my
hopefully.
other negatives is they weren't defending their head enough. They weren't bringing their arms up to.
Have you
defend their
seen
head.
the first? Oh, you haven't. The biggest Rocky, notoriously, never like he doesn't block at all.
Yeah.
The first like 4 films are Rocky getting punched in the face a lot.
Yeah.
Even the Simpsons make fun of it with that joke that Homer becomes a
Oh,
boxer
he just gets hit
and he
in the
just
face
gets punched a
until
lot
the other
until the
people
other
get
guy
tired
gets
and
tired.
fall over, yeah.
That's basically the whole like. If you watch it, it's a lot of Rocky
Yeah.
getting punched in the face.
That was my one negative about the fight
Yeah.
scenes.
I mean, if he's getting trained by Rocky, that makes sense that he wouldn't.
Yeah, that he wouldn't
block.
defend himself. Yeah. Yeah, it's just every time like they got because they got hit in the head so many times. In
Oh,
this
yeah.
film. And they were like
Brutal.
full on, not blocked at all, directly into the head, side of the
There
head.
should be a few
front of
punches
the
where
head,
someone is dead.
right?
Oh, yeah,
right.
for sure. All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. Good discussion. Broadman, do you have an idea on how to end this podcast?
I do have an
that you don't
idea.
go to me
We
anymore.
are gonna play rock paper scissors, but you have to say out loud your decision.
I hate that. So
right.
we already did a take where I said this, and then I just cut it.
Stop
and
trying
now
to take
Brody's-
my ideas. First, you tried to take my word romping or romp. Now you're trying to take my ending ideas.
You've cut out my words and you've taken my bloody ending. All right, fine. Who's playing in this rock paper scissors? I guess
All
if
3 of
you're-
us.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Do you count down?
Yes.
The winner gets the Film Slice belt, the World Series Film Slice belt.
Yep.
Notoriously made out of vanilla
Styrofoam.
slice.
Yep. There's 2 photos on it. There's a photo of our dad and a photo of Broden.
Our collectively our dad.
Yep.
Okay, so we got the belt made up, and now for the ultimate game of rock, paper, scissors audio.
Okay, now hold on. Is it?
On go. 3, 2, 1, go. On go.
3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Rock. or something.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Are you going to say
You
the
can't
word?
pause.
Yeah. Okay.
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 Ready?
3, 2,
1.
1.
Paper.
Scissors.
Rock. You've been listening to the Film Slice podcast with your hosts Angus Dragon, Jordan Malangaloo, and Brody Richards.
Hold
if
on.
you would like to listen to another one,
Hey.
another one of these, we have like 49 or some shit up on whatever platform you're
Yeah,
listening
something
to
like
this,
that.
and we'll bring
We've
you
done 49
another
of these
one
shit.
next week. Can you shut the fuck up? iTunes, Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. We don't have a Snapchat.
We're not on Snapchat.
We don't even look for it. You won't find us
We might.
Film Slice Pod.
Film Slice Pod.
everything.
Film Slice Pod.
Cheers,
Film Slice Pod.
Jordan.